Hey guys, it's your local Speechie here, and today I am outside. It is definitely spring. I am loving it. I was thinking while I was sitting here I should probably invest in some sunglasses because I will be most likely squinting throughout this whole video. Okay, so if you don't know me or have not watched my videos yet, I am a graduate student first year at Towson for speech language pathology. Now, as you all know, we've been in a pandemic, it's been a year, and for my program, we have mainly been doing teletherapy sessions. I have had some clients in person, but a lot of our experiences are focused on visual presentations and PowerPoints and how to get the client engaged and excited through a session that is online. Because as we all know, when we're at home and we're relaxing, it's hard to focus on a speech therapy session. Okay, so I spontaneously decided to make this video because I feel like this is a skill set that you're not going to be given in undergraduate or in any undergraduate programs, just because teletherapy was such a new thing for our field. You know, before the pandemic, we didn't really have to rely on it. So I just wanted to show you as a graduate student learning how to navigate this whole teletherapy thing. I just wanted to show you how I made my visual presentations and what I do to make them pop out more. Hopefully this won't be such a big thing to rely on after, you know, the pandemic finally calms down. But for a lot of people that can't get to a speech pathologist or does not have one local to them, teletherapy is still going to be a very big thing. So this is why I just wanted to show this video and show you how I made my visual presentations as a graduate student. So my other two clients are in person, and the client that I'm working on a visual presentation for right now is a 13-year-old who also is bilingual. She has a lot of receptive and expressive difficulties. We're going to be focusing on present progressive verbs, and we have been working on this for a while with her. Actually, probably be seeing me go back to other PowerPoints that I have and copying and pasting some things that I've had from previous sessions just because they've worked so well. So for this client, she loves the color pink, she loves TikTok, but she also gets very distracted easily, so I have to make the presentation fun and exciting for her. Okay, so we put all our presentations in one file so our supervisor can easily look at them and we can easily see what our co-clinician is doing. I made it spring themed just because I know it's going to be very nice tomorrow when I present this, but also Easter just happened, so I feel like it's such a perfect time for spring related templates. Okay, so as you can see, I am going into my other presentation that I recently just presented with the present progressives. As I said before, I like to pick and choose things from my older PowerPoints and just switch up the design in the background, just because that makes it so much easier when I'm making this visual presentation. I feel like sitting outside for this video was a stupid decision on my part because I am completely sweating, and I'm sure you can see that in the video. Anyway, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm honestly just going to copy and paste. I'm going to copy and paste this PowerPoint slide, and I'm going to put it in this one, and then I'm just going to click design, and I'm going to change the background picture so that it matches the theme that I'm going for here. Okay, so that is in there now, and then I'm going to keep looking at my other slide because that session went really well, so I'm going to be reliant on what I've been doing in the past. If you guys can see the gif of the man touching his watch, that is a movement we use to teach present progressives with her because she learns better with, you know, kinesthetic movement. So we were teaching that ing means this, and whenever you do this movement, you'll know that ing means right now. Okay, so as you can see, I'm still reviewing things, and we are going to add this slide in as well, and we're going to do the same thing where we change the background so that it matches the theme. Just want to talk about this slide really quickly just to explain it. So when we taught present progressives, we would just simply say ing most of the time, and then we found out when we said ing instead of ing, she would get very confused, and there wasn't a relationship between the two in her mind. So when I said ing, that was completely different than ing for her. So we've been trying to get her to understand that ing also means ing, and people are going to use these different terms when they're talking about it, and she's going to have to know it. So in the last session on this slide, I decided to spontaneously make this idea. We weren't doing it before in the previous present progressive sessions, but I decided to do it, and my supervisor liked it, but she did give me a few ideas on how to change it. So basically, we are not going to be using this slide. We will be making a new one and doing it from scratch this time instead of copying and pasting. I'm going to use her suggestions to make it a little bit better. And we are going to show that we are transitioning into a new activity, and we are going to say matching game. Hey guys, as you can tell, I'm in a different location. So first off, I wanted to change my pants because I was sweating so much. I just needed shorts. And second off, I felt like my laptop was getting way too hot on the porch, so I moved to the grass. The last thing I did was made a title slide for this PowerPoint, and like before, I'm going to go in design, and I'm going to change. Since it's a title slide, I'm going to be using this picture instead of the other one just to make it more meaningful and showing that it's a transition. Also, I just wanted to show you this. So once you click on the text box and you move it around, you'll see a line form, and that shows that it's in the center of the slide. And if you keep moving it down a little bit more, it's going to give you a line that says it is center. So to make this slide a little bit more fun for the client, I'm going to find a GIF. Now we use these excited GIFs all the time just to show that we're excited to work with her. So I want my GIFs to be relevant for the client, and I want my client to be excited when she sees them. So I'm picking this Frozen GIF just because I know that she knows Frozen. She sang Let It Go to me one day. It was beautiful. So now I'm gonna go back to my other slides, and I'm looking at the examples that I did just so I can get an idea of what I want to do. So I'm just gonna speed run through this portion just because I don't want this to be super long and boring for you guys to watch. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just gonna exit out of that. So essentially, as you can see, I have a slide that says matching game, and the ideas for my supervisor were to use GIFs instead of these mini pictures, and to use a sentence for each slide instead of having them on one slide together, because that will make it more confusing. So I'm just going to split those up, and I'm just going to add a lot of GIFs so that she can choose one and match it to the sentence. Okay, so I just finished making these slides, and now I'm going to go into the next set of activities, and it's going to be the same thing that I did in the last session, and it's basically showing the client where to add ing. And for this set of activities, I wanted to show her where ing was first, and then I wanted to have her write it in herself a few times. But last time she did very well, and she was adding it in herself before we were getting to the independent examples. So I'm basically just going to copy and paste these slides, change the sentence like I said, and the images, and then I think I'm going to make it mostly independent. So if you see on the slides, it tells her where the ing is going to be. But on the last slide that I have for where she's supposed to do it independently, it has room for her to write in ing herself. But I'm just going to do that for all of them and space it out so that she can write ing where she thinks it's supposed to be. Okay, so I just finished that section, and now we're just going to keep pushing ahead with this presentation because I want to get it done and just so I can do other homework. As you can see, I added another slide, which I didn't tell you guys, but I wanted to give her 2 different sentences and ask her which one sounds right to her, and hopefully she will choose the one that has drinking water. Okay, for the next bit that's going to be sped up, I am going to be adding a section that looks like this where I'm asking her how she feels so far. I'm quickly going to reassess her and ask her what it means when you see ing at the end of the word, just to get it more ingrained in her head. But basically that's what I'm doing here. And then also we're going to go into a section of the PowerPoint. I give her sentences and a field of 3 pictures, and she has to circle which one the sentence means. Okay guys, so I just ran through a couple more activities. That's a loud bird. Okay, so I feel like I am done kind of showing you guys this visual presentation for this specific client, just because we have been doing a lot of repetitive sessions and we have a gist of what we're doing for each session. And for the rest of this visual presentation, I will just be copy and pasting from the last session and just changing up the sentences that I used in the pictures. The next sequence for this visual presentation is going to be expressive language. So that's basically just going to get the client to produce her own sentence with the present progressive verbs. So before I end this video, I really wanted to show you some presentations that I did from last semester. I wanted to show you my visual presentations from my teletherapy sessions from last semester, just because I feel like it's always better to show you guys multiple examples of things and how it looks different for each client and each age that I have. So for the first one, I'm going to show you, I blocked out the name, of course, again. So for this session, if you watched my videos last semester about my client sessions, I had a little boy and he loved Avengers, he loved dinosaurs, he loved everything that had to do with the games or his toys. So his presentation was very fun. So the presentation I'm showing you is from closer to Halloween, so I made it Halloween themed, and we have a lot of October gifts in here, and we have the visual schedule for him. And as we go through the visual presentation, we can clearly see that it's definitely less writing and less text from the one that I was showing you earlier, and it's just a lot of games and activities, and he was working on fluency and stuttering. So for him, we were just trying to get him to say single words and sentences and try to decrease his rate of fluency. And at the end of the session, we just showed a slide that said we had so much fun playing with you. And the other visual presentation was from a 3-year-old girl, and she did not care for our visual presentations. And at a certain point, we literally just stopped making them and we just started doing child-parent play and just observing that instead. But from that visual, this is what we have. I will show you this. So we have a visual schedule. It's very short, it's to the point. Clearly the little girl cannot read, but her mom can, and her mom was able to see what we were doing for the session. And then if you just go through the session, there's literally only a couple more slides because it was very difficult to get her to attend to the presentation in general, but we just showed pictures of what we were going to do, and that just helped, you know, our clients see what we wanted to work on. Okay, so that's basically all I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you what it looked like to do teletherapy as a graduate student and how we figure this all out. I will say there are so many websites that you can log into. Some of them you do have to pay for, and we are given free student accounts for a couple years until we graduate, and then there are some that are already free and you don't need to have a membership or anything. So I will link those in the bio below, and everybody is going to do their visual presentation different, and of course it's going to rely on what the client wants and needs are and what age the client is and how attentive they can be throughout this visual presentation. I will also say your teletherapy style is probably going to vary as you get more experience. I know mine has changed a lot. I felt confident last semester in my visual presentations and I loved them, and then looking back on them now, I feel like I could have made it so much more interactive and look better from what the experience I'm getting right now. Some people have very simple visual PowerPoints and don't feel the need to put pictures or anything, so it's just up to the clinician and what they really want to give to their client for the day. But yeah, to end that, I will definitely add all of the links below, some that you might have to pay for, some that are free where you can get, you know, free resources for teletherapy and free games to use as well. If you guys have any more questions regarding my experience as a student, you know, dealing with teletherapy, I'd love to answer those questions. Just either email me, chat me, comment below. I will answer anything. Once again, I just want to say a huge shout out to everyone that has contacted me about other questions. I love answering them. They make me very happy to know that you guys feel comfortable enough to ask me things. I love that. And I also just want to say thank you so much for all the new support, all the new subscribers, and just how nice everybody has been for you know, my growing channel. I appreciate it so much. If you guys have any questions related to speech pathology or just my life at all, or if you just have a topic that you really want me to cover in a video, let me know and I will do my best to answer everything. And I hope you guys enjoyed this spring background we have going on today. And I hope you are enjoying all of the birds' noises and the sun. Okay. Bye guys.